Hello! I've been arguing for months that House Speaker the Lyin, Paul Ryan, is even more unfit for the job than former Speaker John Boehner was. Patriots need to fire this mad mullah from Madison, the one-worlder, Lyin Paul Ryan, and demand an America First House Speaker in 2016. Ryan says his real and primary and most compelling job is to put himself in the shoes of foreigners, if you can believe that, and including Islamic terrorists. And he has to do that every day and figure out how to bring them in by the tens of thousands. If you disagree with me, then just wait. Wait until you see a speech that was just recently discovered and revealed of Paul Ryan talking about his goal for completely throwing America's borders wide open.
It's time for another blistering report from the front lines of the cultural war for a constitutional America. And now, here's your host, Charles Benninghoff.
This is Charles Benninghoff, and if you're familiar with my videos, then you know I'm not a big fan of Paul Ryan. I hope this video will finally convince you to speak out and tell the Republican conference in Congress to fire Paul Ryan and select a House Speaker who is and always will remain an America First patriot. Here is a campaign speech that Paul Ryan delivered a few years ago, talking about how he wants to throw our borders wide open, and not just to Mexico, but also India, the Middle East, and points beyond. Here is Paul Ryan in his own words.
In the eye and seeing the sincerity, what I get coming to me is this is the American dream. This is the American ideal. Look, put yourself in another person's shoes, which if you're in elected office, you kind of have to do that almost every single day. The job we have, and what we do is we take different people's perspectives. The gentleman from India who's waiting for his green card, the dreamer who's waiting. We take all these perspectives, we process it through our value and our moral and our principles, and then we come up with answers to try to solve problems. That's basically what we do in our jobs. As I hear that, putting myself in his shoes, I don't think I would have done anything different. If I was living in a country where I had no opportunity, where I was living in despair and poverty, and I was fearing for my safety and my family's well-being, I would go anywhere to make a better life for myself and my family. Who wouldn't do that? And what's great about this country is we have been that sort of beacon of hope for families, for people. My family is no different than anybody else's, and my story is no different just a couple generations earlier. And the point of America is this melting pot, this beacon on the hill, where people come in search of a better life for themselves and make a better life for themselves and contribute. That ends up producing a very dynamic economy, a very dynamic society, and a society where we live in freedom with one another. And to make that kind of system continue to work well, you just got to make sure that the rule of law is working. You got to make sure that our system works well. And so what we need to do is get this system working well so that these beautiful stories can continue.
Well, that was straight from the horse's mouth, wasn't it? Paul Ryan says his job is to put himself in the shoes of foreigners and then figure out the best way to sneak them into America. That self-loathing policy serves to do nothing more than erase America off the map, which I think all the one-worlders like Paul Ryan really want as their target goal. Paul Ryan has fully funded the open borders policies of Barack Obama, the United Nations, and the Muslim Brotherhood, that terrorist group trying to tear America apart. Paul Ryan even took a secret trip to Saudi Arabia last April, and we still don't know what the purpose of that trip was. But I can guess, and my guess that this mad mullah from Madison, Wisconsin that is, was sucking up to the Wahhabi tyrants trying to gather even more millions of illegal donations for his campaign war chest. We need a conservative House Speaker, an America First patriot, who will put his own citizens first instead of the citizens of other countries. If you agree, Stay tuned for instructions on how to get to our action page, where you can tell Congress to fire the one-worlder Paul Ryan and demand an America First Speaker of the House. This is Charles Benninghoff signing off and wishing you freedom, fulfillment, and God's many blessings.
If you're watching this video on our action page on our website and you'd like to support our efforts, use the form to the right of this video screen to select a program. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, click the icon appearing in the upper right corner now to find a link to our action page. Follow that link and speak out today.